She gotta find a way to work it all out.
This person like sees me. This person like I can be open with this person.
Rather than doing the thing that feels like it's you, do the thing that's actually you.
Definitely spontaneous. It's funny because my entire like thought process going into those scenes, going into those episodes, I was like, this like I don't want it to feel intimate. I don't want it to feel like we're flirting or like anything. I was like, this is my younger brother's girlfriend. Like all of it was like in my head, I was like, this is not like we're not vibing on this way. But then on the day you show up and then it happens, but also like I think I didn't realize in initially reading it, I was like, these are just two people connecting on a human level, on just being hurt and just being vulnerable and open. And I don't know, sometimes I think that that can build like an even stronger connection.
No, it was not, nothing of that was intentional. I think it was such a, I don't think it was on the radar of having Kit and Lauren be a thing. But when we shot that episode, I think chemistry is so like interesting in films and TV. Like it's like, I don't think me and Casey had not barely worked together at all up until that point. And so you put these two actors who like kind of have just been like, we've just been like waving at each other on the Netflix lot. And then you put us in like a tight space. And then we have to do this scene and talk about like some pretty deep stuff. I think it just naturally breeded this level of like, oh, you know, like Lauren and Kit, they're kind of like, they don't really know each other too well. And I think that was so also pretty indicative of like me and Casey. Like, obviously I adore him so much, but I hadn't been able to actually like shoot anything with him at that point. So I think they were at the monitors and they were like, wait, there's something palpable here. And then, when the season came out, I think people very much picked up on that. And, Netflix was like, all right, we're going to do a little shift now. And I think it was really, I think it was giving the people what they wanted. Yeah.
Yes.
And he's amazing. And I had just like the most fun working with him this whole season. It's like one of the greatest gifts was being able to like get to know him super well this year. And he's so talented. And I think it was just like, yeah, it was coming. I think the fans wanted it. And Netflix was like, all right, we'll give you a little something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I was also surprised how people responded to it too, because I just wouldn't think that that's what people would want. But yeah, I was definitely surprised. But I mean, on the day, it did feel, I was like, even though my intention was not to go there, it was like, I did feel like these characters are getting along. Like these characters,
Yeah.
there's something like deeper that they want to explore. So yeah, I think it was a day feeling and then also afterwards too.
It's so interesting how these things happen because when I watched it and I remember when we were shooting it on the day, some of the producers were like, wait, there's like weirdly something here. And I was like, like what? What do you mean? And they're like, no, that's like, I don't know if it was the way they shot it or if it was the blocking or anything, but I think everyone felt, they were like, ooh, this is a direction we could go. And then we went there.
I mean, I definitely had my reservations for sure, but I'm also go with the flow. I like to, it's if people are gonna like me, that's not up like my character, like that's not up to like me. But yeah, I definitely was like, oh man, I wonder what people think. I wonder if they'll be mad or they'll be upset, which I'm sure some people will be.
We all kind of visit the writer's room before new season starts. And so I went and visited the writer's room and we were kind of like discussing some stuff and they were like, what do you want to do for season 2? And I was like, honestly, I think Lauren needs to struggle. I think Lauren needs to, cause season 1, she kind of had everything she wanted until the end when things started to kind of unravel. And I think season 2 is mid unraveling at that point. And I think the relationship with Kit is kind of her throwing her hands up in the air being like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this for me. Like, I don't care if this is right or wrong. Like, I just need to, in this moment, I like this and I want to follow that feeling. And so, yeah, I think it all kind of works because obviously the history there with Kit and her mom, it's a little crazy. So, but I think it's less of, she's not really focusing on that. I think she just finds solace with him because season 2, such a big theme is Lucas is now, doing super well. He's, really popular at school. He is having his moment. He's had his glow up, as we say in season 1. And, I think Lauren, on the other hand, where she started there in season 1, ends kind of in this place where she's no longer on the cheer squad. She doesn't really have the community or feel like she belongs in that community anymore. And so I think this, kind of taking a left turn and going to actually see and explore this thing with Kit, whether it's right or wrong. I think that's kind of probably why she did it. And we could talk about Lucas and Garrett, who I just adore. He's my best friend. And that was just, as much as we love working together and we work so well together, I think we both knew we're like, this season we gotta like have a little, something's gotta explode. Something's gotta, like, because something needed to change, because I think season 1, you see them, it's like things are too good for them. And then obviously season 2, it's how TV works. Yeah, and I think she also doesn't like feeling like she's jealous of his success. And I don't think she likes feeling like, because I think when you're in a tough spot, I think it's like inherently sometimes people like to also feel like other people are kind of struggling with them. And I think when she doesn't have anyone in her circle that's also going through this hard time, and Lucas is kind of on his up and up, I think that makes things even more discombobulating for her. And that's why she eventually goes to Kit, who's also struggling in his own way. And that's why they find that connection.
I think he's in a place of confusion. I think he's in a place of like he really wants to take responsibility and like be a better person and like be a better person for Lucas and just for himself and like find that. And I don't know. I mean, I think I think it's just like this slow burn. Like they've had this slow burn of just like, oh, this person's like really cool. Like we really are just aligning on just like a personal level of like, oh, this person like sees me, this person like I can be open with this person, which I think is, and then so the more that happens, I think it just happens, and then they kind of cross the line, and then at that point they're like, oh, we really do enjoy each other's company.
I think, honestly, the scene maybe where he's, I don't know, there's so many. You could say it's that first scene where we're sitting on the stairs, in episode 1, that first scene between us where we're talking outside Gracie's. But I feel like that honestly might be a bit too, like, on the nose. I would say it's probably the scene where she is sitting in Lucas's room and he's showing her the cat at the party.
Yes.
And it's like, because I think that's really sweet, because this party is like, there's a ton of people, there's noise, there's everything. And then they like find this spot to talk alone. And she kind of opens up to him about how, she like wanted to be the prom queen and like, it's stupid, but that's like the person I am, and I'm not that person anymore. And that feels weird. And then he gives her like this kind of gift of being like, well, why don't you want to just be somebody else? Like, why isn't it time to maybe try and live a new life? And, rather than doing the thing that feels like it's you, do the thing that's actually you. And I think in that moment, she probably is like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he literally found out on our that is the first kiss that they have.
Yeah.
So, um, it's more fun that he finds out instantly. And I think it's I honestly probably better for Kit and Lauren too. So that
Yeah.
way like keeping this secret from the person that they love the most for like so long. Like it's out there, like he knows, like he beats me up and
Yeah.
so I'm glad that he found out as soon as he did. 100%. 100%. I mean, I think he's fully committed to leaving. He's fully
Yeah,
like
he is.
he's like I've like the one responsibility I have in life is Lucas, and I've even messed up my relationship with Lucas, like the person that I love the most, person that that's like that should be my whole life or is my whole life. Um and so yeah, I think for sure he's fully committed to leaving, but yeah, Laura ends up stopping him in the
I
end.
know. It was like very like it felt like a perfect like Christmas
Yeah.
like romance kind of
Little
situation.
storybook finish. At the end, I mean, I feel like they can come back from this. I feel like there's hope. I mean, at the end of the season, they're definitely kids like I gotta remove myself from the situation.
Yeah.
I gotta give him time. I gotta let him like be his person and like deal from the mistakes that I've made at this point. So I think there's like a heartbreak and like I'm like oh, I need to give him space. I need to like let him be and like let him I don't know either be be the man that he's gonna be, which I'm sure Lucas will end up being, or like make some mistakes like his big bro.
Yes, for sure. And also, you were forged in fire afterwards. You find out the most about yourself. And that's why I actually think it's necessary for Lucas and Lauren to be apart for a bit, because I think in life, like you said, that is where you kind of have your largest becoming. I think other than just like aging and getting older and coming to like, do like, I think first heartbreak is so hard, but also you become new again. And so
Yeah.
I think that it's actually going to be really good for the both of them. And then if things do work out for them in the future, like I said, they can come back and they can actually have this new insight, maybe on things that they also probably weren't totally doing or being for each other in the relationship in the past. And so I think that they'll be able to come to the table at a much more mature time and hopefully be able to work it out.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see where they do go from here. But I mean, in a perfect world, I don't I don't oh, I don't know. It feels like Lauren and Lucas are endgame, but
You think?
like ultimately, like Staten and Quinn are ultimately endgame. They have to end up together, and Lucas and Lauren do, but also things happen. You never know.
Yeah.
But I definitely think they're going to explore this. I feel like they're just like scratching the surface of like I don't know, just being together and like exploring what their connection holds. So
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think I don't even know. I think we got to leave it up to if we get another season, then they're gonna have to blow it up some more. We're gonna have to like say, yeah. I don't know. I think at this moment in time, yes, because I think that it's really hard for her to see um, this. I think it's really hard for her in this moment in her life to actually be with Lucas, given Lucas is like really, really kind of at his best in his life right now. And I think she's at her lowest. And so I think that probably it was necessary for them to take a break. Speaking to the future, though, I don't know, because I think there's so much stuff we haven't gotten into with my mom and with Kit. And so I think if we get a third season, I think we'll be able to explore that part a bit more. And that's definitely going to be a little bit more tumultuous. And then if you ask me then I don't know what I'd say. No, and I do agree to that. I do agree that I think I do. I don't know because I can't speak to it, but I think that they definitely, their love and their care for each other is so, like, it's full of this really sweet innocence and support, and it's really, really pure and sweet. But I also think at 16, 17, you kind of got to go through some life stuff and then find out who you are. And then I think if there's a world where they do come back together and have this reconciliation, they will be stronger because of it. And I think they'll have to work through the whole, well, you were with my brother and like all that stuff. They'll work through it, hopefully. And then come back together and actually like be ready to be in a very adult relationship, because I think it's also hard to have, you know, that much commitment at that age that they're at, if that makes sense. She does, and you know, she gotta find a way to work it all out. But yes, I think that season 3, if we're so blessed, I think it would need to consist of a lot of hard conversations, and then we can dive into those relationships a bit more. I will say, like me and Garrett, because if I had to say, my favorite scene shooting with Garrett though was probably the breakup scene, because good. Because like that, I think we've known it's inevitable. It had been coming at some point. Even in season 1, we're like, they're definitely going to have to probably, you know, throw in a little fire eventually. And so, but that was so fun for the both of us because we are so close. Like he's truly, like we were switched at birth. Like we were like twins. Like I love him so much. But that was really fun for us because it was so emotional. But then, you know, you cut the cameras and we're us, and I like see him every day. And so, yeah, it's sweet. So regardless of if Lucas or Lauren are in trouble, just know that me and Garrett are always great, just so fans know.
Definitely. Yeah. I think also I feel like Kit's always sort of felt alone and kind of like an outcast and kind of someone who's just like fighting and just like not being able to just figure it out. And, you know, having a stable partner is extremely helpful, and definitely, I definitely can see him like having more of a redemption, and I think he's already redeeming himself.
100%. Yes.
Yeah, but still along the way making some mistakes. But I definitely think that. I really love the scene where she like makes me model.
Yes.
And then I put the cowboy hat on after. I thought that scene ended up being really sweet. The last scene was fun, just fun to do. We had like the fake snow, and like just shooting it was just like fun. It was also my last day.
Oh.
And like finishing a project is always like you feel accomplished, you feel good. They did I've done it. So but all of it was fun. I'm happy with how all of it turned out.
Oh man. I really love those 2 scenes we have on the stairs, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think in the first episode and then in the last episode where he leaves, I don't know. I think those are so great because you see them at 2 very different times in their relationship. And I think it's like, I think those are great. But then obviously I love cats. And so all the scenes we had with the cats and the kittens, I was a massive fan of. And all those cats got adopted at the end.
That's what Casey said. That's what Casey said.
I wanted another one. I had 2 cats at the time, but I ended up not. But then as of last week, I adopted another one anyway. So now I have 3.
I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I feel like in a weird way they've bonded over that.
Yeah. She makes fun of it like in their first scene
Yeah,
together.
they make fun of it, they make light of it. I mean, she's out of both of their lives. I mean, she's in the jail. Like it's not
Yeah.
like so I think it's the past and I think they've moved on. And I also think it's a small town and
Look, yeah. There's not a lot.
there's not a lot of people in the town, but yeah, I mean it's interesting. I think it's definitely going to be a big moment for him, or is a big moment for him. It's a weird, yeah, it's a weird feeling to have that, and for somebody to be like, and me fully being like, like kids fully like
Yeah.
I'm leaving, like I'm out, and someone to like come and grab you and be like, no, you can't, like, it's yeah, I think it's a beautiful moment where he's just like, oh, okay, like maybe. Yeah, I think a moment of realization and just happiness, I think.
Do you think he's in love with her by this point, or do you think it's still on that trajectory?
Yeah, I think so. I
Yeah.
think even before that, like, I mean, when he's like, I'm leaving and he's telling her like we're done, like we can't, like on the steps, um, he's like, we're like, I can't do this. I think at that point he already loves her.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard, but ultimately he cares about Lucas and like his well-being.
Oh, that's such a good way of putting it. Yeah, I think that was really important for him and like his self-actualization of knowing that he was needed, and not needed just from a standpoint of like, oh, I need to take care of Lucas because we don't have parents and I have to be that father figure for him. I think needed as in like, no, someone outside of his brother actually wants and needs him to
Hmm.
stay, because there's been so much issue season one with him and people, having opinions of him based on the Randall storyline. And so I think you're so right. That probably was the first time in a long time where he's felt like he's been desired for a need outside of like necessity. And so, yeah, I think it's sweet. I also think it's Lauren like really feeling like everything in her life was falling apart at that point. Like she obviously is not with Lucas anymore. And now this, person she thought she had, so much in common with, and finally like found this feeling of like, oh, we can both not know what we're doing in life and that be okay and just figure it out. And now he's leaving. And so I think that the big grandness of it all, I think she needed to do just to like prove that she actually does have real feelings for him.
Yes, it's really there's a lot of responsibility in this, and I don't take it lightly. But yeah, yeah, it was definitely fun to do, and I hope people um receive it well.
I'm in good company. Like, yes, the people love the brotherly dynamics.
They
Yes,
do.
yeah.
Um, but
It's an
and I
honor
was
to be here.
you're like, I'm here to stay.
I'm here. I'm sat. Yeah.